Today we're going to discuss the nature of the critical and envious mind. And this is from a scripture called the Niti-sastra. It describes how a person with the nature to criticize will criticize anything. Even if there's no fault, even if there's a good quality, the person will still criticize. It's a beautiful quote. It's applicable, especially today, because of what we see on social media. So I think you're going to like this, and I think it's going to help you also in your life understand how to be more magnanimous, more appreciative. So let's listen to it. Wicked people have a way of seeing something negative in everything. If a person is modest, they consider him slow and useless. If a person observes his vows meticulously, then they call him a show-off. If a person is very clean, they proclaim that he is deceitful because of his clean manners. They see cruelty in the brave. They call sages irresponsible because they abandon their families. If they say a person talking very politely, they think he is being a sycophant. They call a spirited person arrogant. They accuse a good orator as being garrulous. They call a person who does not take risks a weak person. There is no merit that the wicked will recognize. They see everything negatively. Have you seen this before? Have you seen this in yourself? Now, we know that Krishna does not see the bad in anyone, but he only sees the good. He takes that and he magnifies it. We know that the pure devotees, they only see the good, they take the good and they magnify it. And Prabhupada had plenty of reasons to criticize us. And even as the spiritual master had the right to criticize us, he didn't do it that often. But generally, he saw the good. And he fanned that good. So he's setting the example that where there's even bad, what to speak of there's good turning into bad, even where there's bad. Generally, the devotee overlooks that. And he takes the good. And he magnifies it. Now, when I talk like this, some people say, yeah, but there's so many problems and you have to bring up the problems and it's not really criticizing if you point out the problems. And yes, this is all true. But I want to set that idea aside for now because here we're talking more philosophical of what is the nature of the pure devotee and how they see the good and how we are meant to cultivate that nature and how amazing it would be if everyone in the world had that nature. And I think if we all had that nature, even in spite of all the bad we see that we need to correct, probably we would see less bad and more good, and probably we'd be more tolerant, probably more understanding, definitely more encouraging. Now, you know, I know, we all know, it's not fun to be criticized. It's not inspiring us. And sometimes it's very discouraging. But when we are appreciated, even we may not ask for it, even we may not want it, but when we're appreciated, it's inspiring. So if we appreciate others, if we can learn to see whatever little good is in another person, point it out, magnify it, that person will become encouraged. And not only will they become encouraged, we'll become encouraged. In fact, maybe 20, 30 years ago, a man wrote a very simple book which became a huge bestseller, like a foundational book in the business world. It was called The 1 Minute Manager. And the basis of that book was find somebody doing something good and compliment them. And that seems like so simple and common sense. But so little of that was being done that that book became a bestseller. Isn't that interesting? Telling people to compliment one another when you find them doing something good. Catch them in the act of doing something good and compliment them becomes a bestseller. It has to be that so few people are doing it. So, to sum everything up, we understand the attitude of what is described here as the wicked mind. They see the good, they turn it into bad. And we understand the mind of the pure devotee and the mind of Krishna, or the heart, that they magnify whatever little good is there. And they don't even see the bad. That's amazing. They don't even see the bad. They only see the good. Meditate on that. Think about that. That's what we're trying to cultivate. That's the mood. That's the attitude. And if we cultivate that, we'll inspire so many people and we'll inspire ourselves.